Let's take a journey to the tip of an island. A land structure over 30 miles long, housing dozens of communities, yet you can clearly define its boundaries, even a start and an end. We are going to visit the end of a particularly well-known island, Fire Island, Long Island's Barrier Beach, located in the United States, New York. Fire Island is well known for a few things. Many know it for its beachside bungalow communities, from Ocean Beach to Cherry Grove. Those who frequent Robert Moses State Park may not realize it sits on Fire Island's far west point. It also provides one of the few access roads for authorized vehicles to enter the island's private communities. The Fire Island Lighthouse Museum, a working lighthouse and museum, also attracts many and provides spectacular views if you venture the climb. The east end of the island touches the Hamptons and is now infamous for the million-dollar homes the ocean has consumed. The western tip of Fire Island consists of Robert Moses State Park. The park was built in 1908 along with the parkway that led to New York City. The oddity here is not only did the park not exist before 1900, neither did the land. The island was shorter, and at one point the lighthouse marked the end. The lighthouse was built in 1858. Do the math, and in less than 50 years, formed beaches that now an entire state park occupies. I've started this journey in Robert Moses State Park in the westmost parking field, Field 2. Why doesn't it start at Field 1? There's a par 3 golf course where Field 1 could possibly be, but even beyond that, there's more land. More land to the west indeed. Maybe it's the island's best kept secret, for at the far west point lies Democrat Point, state preserve land and only open to fishermen. This is the tip of the island, and if you want to see true virgin land, it is here. In my own lifetime, I have witnessed this land come out of the sea, change from sand to dirt, and come to life. It's truly beautiful. As we travel down the south side of the island, we shift from sunbathers to off-road vehicles speckling the shore. Conservation efforts allow access during specific times and seasons. I'm now approaching what once was the end of the island. This rock jetty extended out into the ocean about 50 yards with a foghorn that would automatically sound a loud chime every 30 to 60 seconds. Many fishermen can recall fishing off this jetty under the constant loud but low tone of the tower. The base of the old tower can still be seen. It may look like the rock jetty disappeared, but the whole jetty is still here in front of us. The land has expanded and it goes much further west now. This old aerial photo from August 1981 shows the then tip of the island. Democrat Point, clearly labeled, points to the old tower. As I cross the rock line, I can appreciate that I am older than the land I stand on. Now the island becomes more volatile in shape, and it's here where change can be seen by season, sometimes by month or day. The land is surveyed multiple times a year by the Coast Guard and Army Corps to maintain maps, channel buoys, and other navigational info. It's truly magical to watch an overwhelmingly huge piece of land change so frequently. As we approach the end, the landscape begins to resemble some artistic sculpted sand art than real life. If you are not cautious to the tide, you can be trapped here under the wrong conditions. Many trucks have been destroyed in a late attempt to get off the beach, as you can never truly predict the high tide line. The pieces covered in green have cemented themselves in and host an abundance of wildlife such as red foxes, piping plovers, osprey, and dozens of species of migrating birds. You could even spy white snow owls and bald eagles. It's low tide, and the island has fully exposed itself. Like the tongue of a snake, this small peninsula shifts around with the wind and tide and ever-consumption of sand and creation of new land. The fish are literally right here as the gulls dive into the sea, just feet from the shoreline. And it's no ordinary beach. It's Mother Earth giving birth, and I find it truly magical. I've been here countless times, yet I haven't, because each time was a different spot further west into the channel. The body of water to the north of Fire Island is the Great South Bay. If it were not for Fire Island, the ocean would crash directly upon Long Island, making much of the land inhabitable. The bay is shallow, long, and wide. It's pumped with fresh ocean water only through a few small openings in the surrounding barrier islands. This inlet is one of the main arteries, the Fire Island Inlet, home to one of the hottest fishing locations in the world. The constant pumping of water in and out of the huge bay through this tight channel creates a feeding frenzy. The fast-moving water bottlenecks through the inlet, which ranges in depths of 10 to 100 feet in places. Huge holes in the earth exist in the middle of the channel and swallows everything like an underwater black hole. The odd movements in the water here are a result of the sharp depth changes around these holes. Each tide, water pumps into the bay, gets warmed by its shallows, pushed back out through this tiny channel where it attracts all sorts of sea life. Some are captured in the fast current. Ocean scavengers, including large sharks, are attracted to the inlet's hot jet expel. This whole combination creates a true saltwater fishing haven. We are now about to cross back over the rock line again. A body of water has been trapped within the ever-growing peninsula. It still feeds through this river in the channel. It will be interesting to see if this lake becomes a permanent part of the landscape. When fishing off these rocks, as a kid, I often wondered what lied on the other side, and here I am. As we follow the rock line, we come across a break at the end. This breach is new as of this year and it's significant. We are now fully inside the channel and riding parallel to the ocean breaking waves. In between lies the forest full of wildlife. We conclude our journey coming to the north end of the par 3 golf course and approaching the 4x4 vehicle entrance for Democrat Point. I'll be doing videos covering the state of Democrat Point, Fire Island, and its opposite shoreline, Gilgo Beach, which has an entire other set of stories. So do stay tuned, subscribe, and thank you.